If you guys didn't know, I have a serious passion for cinematography. So before I hit the record button, I make sure my settings are dialed in. Today I'll share with you my settings I use in the Sony A6300 to achieve a cinematic look. Before I get any further into this video, you might notice a soft, glowing, diffuse look. For this, I used my Koken 4x4 Black Net 2 filter. In my opinion, this also helps give a more filmic look. The first major setting to be aware of is frame rate. I set my frame rate to 23.976 or 24 frames. It's been a staple in Hollywood filmmaking forever. This is why 24 frames feels cinematic. Make sure you have this setting checked. In almost all cases, my A6300 is set to 4K for the highest output quality. If I'm shooting slow motion, I'll switch over to 120 frames per second. Most feature films on the silver screen are shot in 4K. 4K will give you a super detailed image. The great advantage to shooting 4K on the A6300 is this camera downscales a 6K image to 4K. This means you get more resolution and a sharper image. I set my shutter speed based on the 180 degree rule. This is a big part of getting closer to the filmic look. If you're shooting 24 frames per second, times that by 2 to get your shutter angle or shutter speed, which is 1/48 of a second. If you're shooting outside, you'll need ND filters. If you're shooting action, dial your shutter to the 45 degree angle or 1/198 of a second. This will give you that Saving Private Ryan look. It's used in action sequences all the time. My ISO varies depending on how much light I'm working with, and typically I want to make sure my camera reads +2 overexposed. This is known as exposing to the right. The A6300 picture is more forgiving overexposed. I won't go over an ISO of 6400. The noise level starts to show and becomes unusable. To get the most out of your picture, set your color space to S-Log. I personally use S-Log2. Log in general gives the most dynamic range and room to edit the color of your picture in post. Some prefer S-Log3 or Cine 2, so experiment to find the look that suits your film or your taste. Here is my exact log settings as they stand. These settings work for my projects and style. I'd encourage you all to play with the settings in your camera to see what works for you. Experiment and have fun. Check out my video on 5 cinematic tips to see more ways to give your projects that cinematic feel and look. So I'd like to see what you guys are shooting. Leave a link to your recent work with settings like these or similar. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, guys. A lot more content just like this coming soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and remember, go crazy, have fun, make killer visuals. Jason Goldwolf, signing out.